Justice Department sues Texas Governor Abbott over state law allowing detention and deportation of immigrants. Show title hide title DOJ. Cities roll back immigration actions in Texas. The Justice Department said today it will sue Texas over a new law that allows law enforcement to detain people suspected of crossing the border illegally. This comes as more cities across the country try to stop Texas from moving immigrants out of state. Fox 26 Houston Austin, Texas. The U.S. Department of Justice sued the state of Texas and Gov. Greg Abbott on Wednesday to block the enactment of new unconstitutional state-level immigration penalties, including allowing police to detain immigrants who enter the country illegally. In a lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas, federal prosecutors argue that Senate Bill 4, which Abbott signed into law last month, would violate and counter efforts to enforce immigration laws. SB4, scheduled to go into effect in March, imposes a range of criminal penalties for illegal border crossings, with provisions that would allow state judges to deport individuals. Efforts made through SB4 infringe on federal government's exclusive authority regulate entry-exit of non-citizens, to frustrate U.S. immigration operations and proceedings, interfere with U.S. foreign relations. Lawsuit says of new Texas law, SB4 is invalid and should be banned. The case is the latest challenge facing Texas over its immigration policies, which have faced scrutiny from the Biden administration and Democratic leaders. The state is fighting a legal battle over razor wire along border and floating barrier that Abbott erected in Rio Grande River. Wednesday's lawsuit also comes amid between Abbott and Democratic-led cities that have accepted buses and planes carrying immigrants sent by the governor. City officials in New York City and Chicago have been opposing the arrival of immigrants, recently imposing restrictions to manage the influx of asylum seekers. Immigration wave. The number of backlogs in immigration courts exceeds 3 million. Texas SB4 raced several times. The Justice Department, which is presenting government's case on behalf of a host of agencies tasked with overseeing immigration and foreign relations, cites previous U.S. Supreme Court precedent in arguing that SB4 is exempt from existing law and violates the Supremacy Clause Constitution. Under Constitution's Supremacy Clause and Supreme Court's long-standing jurisprudence, states cannot adopt immigration laws that interfere with framework adopted by Congress. Deputy Attorney General Vanita Gupta said in a statement announcing lawsuit, the Department of Justice will continue to fulfill its responsibility to protect the Constitution and enforce federal laws. After marathon year for the Texas Legislature, which SB4's provisions were fiercely challenged multiple times, the final drafted legislation was passed in November and established a series Peña